Hey everybody, welcome to G4G on YouTube. Got a surprise for you guys tonight, and that is apparently there is a beta test going on for a new Marvel game for mobile devices, and it's going to be a MOBA. So all you League of Legends fans, all you Dota fans, all you Vainglory, uh, Bing Bang Crush Crush Korean, Asian, Japanese, NetEase, Chinese, look at these, Super Knees, whatever the who's Bang Bang Legends? I forget. The one that has like Chucky in it and everything. Um Mobile Legends. Yeah, that's it. So if you're a player of that, you're probably going to really hit the ground running on this. I myself, being a Heroes of the Storm huge player, um, literally my account is in the thousands of level. Um, I do know MOBAs well enough, but I know the watered down version that is Heroes of the Storm. So, let's go ahead and show you a couple of things first. So here is the home page of it. It is called Marvel Super War. And as you can see, we have fairly standard Marvel characters. However, you can see Deadpool and you can see Storm. So at least they are dealing with mutants. If you click on get it on Google Play, you don't get taken there because it's not available globally yet, but it is available for a beta test in some regions. If you go to download on the App Store, if you get an invite, you can launch it on the Test Flight iOS application. So looking at the pictures here, we can see Magneto. Well, hold on. So there's your standard kind of MOBA screen character selection. Standard MOBA, it's a 3-lane. Magneto, Captain Marvel in the movie suit, Ant-Man, Scarlet Witch, Sif. So it looks like we're going to get fairly standard characters. Nothing, ridiculously out of the ordinary over here. If we keep toggling back and forth, we'll see War Machine Vision, Magneto, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, Captain Marvel, Loki, Storm. Not too sure who the purple is down there. That maybe at the bottom right looks like a Malekith or a Corvus Glaive. And then here you have your standard 3 lanes. You've got movement over on the left. You've got some abilities with cooldowns here. It does look like you've got a mana bar. Definitely a busy screen over here, as you maybe have some options over here. Maybe some chat, standard attack, maybe items you purchased. But, standard 3-lane of top, middle, bottom. And then this screen's got Thanos and Iron Man and Deadpool. And then Sif over here. And a pretty classic representation of Scarlet Witch. While also looking at a modern representation of Ant-Man. And there you go. So, we're going to take a look at how to get into the beta by not being in that region. But first, we do want to talk about something here. So previously on Steam, there had been a PC version of a mobile game, and it was called Marvel End Time Arena. Now, this is the one that I was sort of tracking for a little while. However, if you go to the Steam link, you get this, because it's not available in the States, and I think it might be dead at this point. But if we get something with these characters, this would be awesome. And thank you for Shujikon for your original video over here. But we have a very good looking Cloak and Dagger, a very classic Yondu. Corvus and Proxima look like how they looked in all the other games, but not the movies. That's pretty classic for Crystal and Vision and not movie Drax, Bucky, She-Hulk, Groot. But if we go back just a little bit, he goes through some characters over here, and as you can see, you've got some classic and movie representations of characters. So there's a Winter Soldier and a classic Captain, a Venom and an Anti-Venom, and a good-looking Anti-Venom. Classic Loki, movie Loki. I don't know who this is at all. A classic cartoony Green Goblin, Star-Lord, not movie Star-Lord, Ghost Rider, Evil Knievel Ghost Rider, which was like in Marvel Heroes is where they used that skin. Movie Gamora, classic Gamora, Punisher, and a more cartoony comic Punisher, Daredevil, and I think that's Shadow Man's Daredevil. I don't recognize White Elektra over here. Black Panther, maybe King T'Challa, Black Panther, Classic Ronin, Movie Ronin, or Movie Ronin Classic, Ultron, Movie Ultron, Vision, another kind of Vision, and then of course classic representations of Proxima, Groot with King Groot, or Thor Groot, maybe that is. I think that's King Groot. There's Corvus Glaive, classic. There's movie Ant-Man. Two different forms of very classic Yondu, movie Drax, regular Drax. Crystal, two forms of Crystal, which are basically Marvel Future Fights got these. Very classic War Machine, Bucky, She-Hulk, Cloak and Dagger, Thor, couple different Thors. It's a nice loadout, but again, nothing super new to the table. I mean, some of the skins might be a little new, but I mean, looking at this roster, and there was briefly a movie Thanos over there, it looks like at least that game, the Steam game, didn't break any ground other than that one guy with the hat and the tail. So that was Marvel End Time Arena. I had to look it up because I was like, wait, a Marvel MOBA? Is that the one that I started tracking about a year ago? And it may draw from it. And I don't know the original company that was doing the Steam game, because my Steam won't tell me anything about it, because I would have to use an Asian VPN in order to full Steam to get there. So Marvel End Time Arena was the original one. Marvel Super War is the one that's being tested out now. So if you're running BlueStacks, now if you're running Nox or Mimu, or you are doing this on a phone, it's going to be a little bit different. For BlueStacks, we're going to walk through what you need to do to get it installed. So first you need to search for the game and download two files, an APK file and an OBB. It doesn't seem to have made it to the more common sites yet, and by that I mean a lot of the very well-known websites where you can get APKs and OBB files, and then there is an app that loads them locally too. I believe I have it on my Nox. Pure APK Pure. The APK Pure site, I haven't gone to it yet, but when I've looked at the web, nothing has linked me over to APK Pure yet. So once you get the APK file and you're using BlueStacks, BlueStacks, as you know, launches to the App Center. Go to My Apps and go to Install APK. Aim the pop-up menu that shows up on your screen at the directory that you have the APK installed. Once you do that, do not under any circumstances launch the game yet. Just basically install the APK. It might look like a Game Boy icon. You'll know it's finished when you have this icon over here. As you can see, you know, typical Marvel in the center. I mean, it's a standard Marvel game icon. Once you have loaded the APK, ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist, and in BlueStacks go to Settings, Storage. From Storage, drag it down to Explore, and then for me, it showed up here in this particular folder. This site over here, which I will link, will tell you how to get there. So there's System, App, Settings, Storage, Explore, go to Windows, and then go to the BST shared folder. Now, you do this after you copy the OBB file that you download to this directory. You see here, Program Data, BlueStacks Engine, User Data, Shared Folder. I'm going to give you an example of that. this is what it looks like. So see, program data, BlueStacks, engine, user data, shared folder. Now I'm pretending this is the OBB file right here, which is move me for the G4G fans TXT. So that is my stand-in right now for the OBB. You can do it from ES File Explorer, but it says if you have the question mark, don't do it this way, do it the longer way. I did get the question mark in ES File Explorer, so I'm ignoring the first part of this instructions. System Map, Settings, Storage, Explore, and then pick Windows over here, and then pick the BST shared folder. So that's that. If we back it up one, back it up one, back it up one, there you go. You may, if you're using BlueStacks, you may have to pick the device, which in this case, it's a OnePlus, is what it's emulating. I go to Windows, I go to the BST shared folder, and there's move me for the G4G fans. Now, what the instructions don't really tell you here is that what you need to do is long click the OBB file that you want to move. Don't just tap it, because then it may try to open it in ES File Explorer. Long click on it and you'll get this where it goes green and has the check. You're going to click the three dots and pick move to. And it's going to come up and say, well, where are we going to move it to? So again, pick the device. This time pick Android and then OBB. And then here it is already. So this is the OBB file for the game. If I was moving it, I would now hit move and it would copy it over. I've already moved it. I'm not going to copy the text file, but it's pretty self-explanatory at this point. Android, OBB, drop it here by tapping move down in the lower right. If you know anything about Android structure, this is old hat for you. Now, this is not iOS. I cannot talk about iOS in this video because I don't have an iOS emulator and I haven't tried this on test flight yet. If you have a phone or a tablet or anything that is Android, this is super easy to do. Just copy the APK file and the OBB file directly to your device by going to a website that has them both. Just Google it. Once you download it on the device, install the APK, but don't launch it, and then move the OBB from the download folder to the Android data OBB folder. So let's click on Super War and see what it is. So it is a NetEase game. It says it requires read and write permissions to your device's storage to save and read account info. Fairly standard. Yes. And unfortunately it crashed for me. So that kind of sucks. Let's try it again. Yeah. Let's gonna make sure that I've got the OBB in the correct area. So we're gonna go to internal storage, Android, OBB. There is the OBB file. Now I have to get used to, you know, for Android, maybe it wants it in here. I don't think so, but it made a folder that mentions, alright, I'm going to long click on it and pick copy. And then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to paste it. Just in case, that's the right OBB file. It's about 350 megs. Alright. This is a shot in the dark over here. Maybe it needs... Oh, okay. There we go. That might actually work out a little better. Perhaps it does. Some OBB files belong raw in the OBB folder. Sometimes they belong in a folder named after the file. Let's see if it crashes. It's doing better. Okay, there we go. So that's what you need to do. Arena is volatile, unpredictable. Please update So it looks like it has a small update. Now the version I got on the web for the APK was 1.6.0. This is saying 1.6.22 down there. Generally, once you get it installed, it doesn't have too big of a problem updating, but sometimes it will. You generally do not have to re-download the OBB file with each update, just an APK. So you have some Asian languages along with English. We're going to pick that. And it's loading. It's tying it to my Google Play account, my Google Play games on my Google Play account. Yep, we'll allow it to do that. Now, there is going to be a wipe, supposedly, in between the beta and when it goes live, so don't expect your stuff to carry over. And obviously, none of these are going to be super close to me, so I'm going to try other. We'll see what happens. I mean, I'm not really going to actively play it right now. The Super War Alpha test will start on May 28th, which was yesterday by just a few hours, and will last for 2 weeks, and it ends on June 10th. 10 heroes will be free to use during the test, with another 15 able to be recruited. Hopefully that means 25, not just 15 total. PvE and 5v5 matches will be available together with power cores, tactics, and other game features. Hearing PvE is good. When you're not a MOBA player, one of the scariest things to do is have to play MOBA games. Again, I'm a Heroes of the Storm player. I absolutely wouldn't understand the concepts, except Heroes of the Storm doesn't exactly have junglers in what they call it. They call them specialists in there. And, you know, the concepts of carries and everything, they are present in Heroes of the Storm, but Heroes of the Storm dumbs it down into tanks, 2 kinds of tanks, 2 kinds of assassins, 2 kinds of healers, and specialists who aren't really a healer or something, but they usually like will push a lane and everything, and that might translate into a jungler. So there is going to be a gift, so that could be cool. Like, what I really want out of a Marvel game now is just new things. Characters that I haven't been running into the ground since 2012 when Marvel Avengers Alliance came out. Like, I just want new stuff. Not Groot again, and Captain Marvel again, and Captain America again. My verification code. I'm going to think that it's asking for a name and not an actual code. So we'll just do this. I haven't heard of anybody playing it yet. That End Arena, they said that they were getting like 200 ping to the Asian regions, but that's not this game. I've never played this kind of game. I played this game. Yeah, okay, I understand. Let's try matching. Are you ready? Wow, so it wants to jump me right into a match. It's probably going to be PvAI. Tap here to find a 5v5 match. Seriously? Okay, alright. I can go back. Cool. No, I don't want to quit. So here's a mail icon. And welcome to Elite Testing. Please accept this login gift. Don't forget to follow. Alright, so it looks like I got 2,000 some odd credits. I'm already level 20. Clicking on A next to me gives me career data, achievements, favorite heroes. It looks potentially like battle records is how I've done in matches. That function's not available. Clicking on the heads down in the lower left next to the mail will get me friends. Okay. I don't have friends. I'm an unlikable fellow, so fuck friends. Captain Marvel. Alright, she's spinnable. Let's go to hero file. Okay, here we go. This is what I was hoping to see. So, classic Hawkeye, Black Widow, Hulk. Yay, Quicksilver. Alright, that's cool. That's a surprise. Blue Suit Quicksilver, affectionately known as Bisquick, from the Marvel Avengers Alliance days. High mobility. So, yeah, I think this game is really taking a lot from End Time Arena, because if we go back just a little bit, when he looked at Thor, I think it was towards the end before he finally stopped going through the characters. Yeah, no. He looked at Thor over here, and it had that same geometric shape. So we've seen this in a lot of games where it has the skew. So it has crap defense and buff, but pretty high attack, super high mobility, and decent control. He's considered easy, a burst charger, and he's for beginners. Scarlet Witch, high attack, and then a very shallow figure over here. Support. So everybody's a beginner. Interesting on Cloak and Dagger. I've never seen these outfits for Cloak and Dagger before. Very modern, high-tech, like Guardians of the Galaxy look to it. Big on buffs, and then kind of crap attack, mobility, control, and defend. Support beginner. Burst beginner, high attack, similar to Scarlet Witch. Classic Storm. Specialty burst charge. High control, so maybe like roots. Okay, here we go. Branch slap. Energy attacks. Knocking them upward. Alright, kind of what you would expect if you've played MOBAs before. Sustained DPS beginner. So everybody's a beginner so far, but at least we've got something changing here with the specialty. It also says he's a 1-star, but Groot was a 2-star. Hero trait. For every 1.8k units, Rocket Raccoon KOs within 1 yard, spare parts will appear on the battleground. Units that were not, and they will be automatic. Okay, so that's a lot like Gazlo. There's a lot like Gazlo from Here's the Storm. It looks like these are the ones I now have or are recruitable. So there's Captain Marvel, Burst Beginner, Burst Charge on Vision with a beginner, pretty high attack but also high defense. There is Black Panther. I'm not even going to talk about proficiency anymore because it's just everybody's beginner. Odd skew here. No buffs, but pretty high defense and reasonable mobility, control, high attack. Ebony Maw. So this is who we saw with the head cut off. It was Ebony Maw. That's cool. I'm happy to see him in the game because other than Marvel Future Fight, when do we get to use Ebony Maw, especially in his not movie look? So this makes me happy. And him being a controller really makes a lot of sense. Enemy heroes damaged by Ebony Maw's basic attacks and abilities will be marked with a 6-second Evil Whisper. At 3 marks, the target to plunge into a state of confusion. So a little bit of English there. Probably get cleaned up. It maybe looks like you get confused or feared after 3 hits from Ebony Maw's basic attacks. Oof, that's a complicated ability. So energy damage. Let's see, hit points. Pretty cool there. Black Dwarf, okay, that's good. Not known as his movie name, Cull Obsidian. That's nice. Again, in Marvel Future Fight, but not very meta right now. Nobody talks about him and uses him. It seems like we've hit our first tank over here. Tanky control. Here's Loki. He's burst, pretty high attack. Classic Loki over here. Hey! Scourge the Executioner. I'm now getting kind of happy because these are people we don't commonly use in games. He's in Marvel Future Fight, but again, he's not meta. So who's really using it? But here he's being called sustained DPS with a very high attack. Iceman, cool. Gonna show up in Marvel Future Fight pretty soon, but looks like he'll be in this game. Good to see mutants. Burst Charge. Angel, alright. Happy. That's cool. Magneto. Very classic Magneto there. Deadpool. Difficulty hard. Alright, there we go. Finally somebody with a bit of a different difficulty, but still proficiency beginner. So that must mean... Oh, because you haven't used him. Okay. Yeah, alright. So we've looked at a lot of easy, normal people, but there's hard on Ebony Maw. There's hard on Deadpool. Hard on Star-Lord. Sustained DPS. Pretty good mobility. Mantis. Alright. Pretty interesting looking Mantis. Not totally a rip on the movie look. Hey, Mr. Fantastic in his kind of Marvel Future Fight-ish look with the goatee. Classic Hawkeye. Black Widow. High mobility, as you would expect. Hulk. Super high control, but still high attack and high defense. Hulk receives a short-lived but powerful movement speed boost whenever he uses an ability. Plus his next basic attack deals math based off of target max hit points, math, damage and hit point regeneration. Thor, Bisquick, Scarlet Witch. Okay, so there are some surprises here, and it looks like we can classify it over here, which is cool. So there's your fighters. There's energy, which probably is going to be considered ranged. Marksman also ranged, melee assassins, tanks, and support. Let's see. Okay, cool. I can recruit him because of the 2000. Okay, cool. So you can buy a character other than the standard Captain Marvel that they gave you. Prepare. Let's take a look at what Prepare does. Yeah. See, this is one thing here is the Storm does not get into, and that's equipment purchasing. And I gotta admit, that's very easy to not have to worry about that. It looks like this is a suggested item set. So you're probably going to have in-game match purchasing. I can't pick Captain Marvel. This screen seems to not really be doing much over here. Can't even X out of it. I potentially have locked this up a little bit. Yeah, I'm not able to back out of that. Alright, so we'll relaunch it real quick. And then we'll wrap up the video, and maybe I'll be able to get into some gameplay on this. I would prefer to do PvE, as I'm sure my ping would be absolutely atrocious to the regions where this game is actively being played. So I'm probably going to skip around like crazy and maybe be unhittable, and be nice to be the laggy one for a game for a change, rather than trying to hit the laggy one. So make sure you tap where it says enter game rather than just anywhere on the screen. Heard a little bit of a sound effect that time. It's not trying to throw me right into the tutorial again, which is pretty good. Let's see what shop does. Okay, characters. So this is probably all your purchasable characters. And let's see, return to team. I wonder if I can actually spectating would be good. You must quit battle matching, leave. Okay. I wonder if there's any games going on that I could spectate, because that would be the best thing right now. Well, there's a bunch of these 3-minute things. Let's see what happens. I think by the fact that it says 0 next to the heads, it's probably not going to go anywhere, but maybe that means I don't have any friends in it. Okay, this seems to be some real people. We have a definite tank on the red side and Hulk. Don't know if there's anything tanky up here. Nobody's sticking out. We don't have Hulk. We don't have Corvus. Hawkeye, Captain Marvel, and then it just kind of breaks down a little bit from there. There's some differences here. So these two Hawkeyes have the red and the red, but then there's gold and gold, which are the same, but blue and green. And then the Captain Marvels are identical. And it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Oh, okay, there we go. It's synchronizing. This is probably going to require a pretty good device to play. I've got Chrome open right now, so BlueStacks might be choking just a tiny bit. So it seems like we've got your standard MOBA laning. Oh, there it goes. Alright, it's got me synced up. So here's Iceman versus a Deadpool. Iceman's hanging out in his tower. Just beating up on some lane creep. Here comes a Captain Marvel. She dashes in, knocks him up. And he uses range to get out of it. So it seems, you know, standard MOBA fare where you fight towers and lanes. Maybe there's some camps. Yep, that looks like a camp over there. Another camp. Here we've got Hulk versus Vision, and Vision's out. Over here, we've got a Thor and a whoops. Oh god, that moves super fast. A Thor and a Hawkeye versus a Hawkeye. Invisibility and grass, probably trying to go for the gank. Might play like Bronzebeard in Here's the Storm, where one of the hammer abilities is probably a stun. Looks like they go for maybe a camp over here. I heard Thor say for the glory of Asgard. Hulk's trying to get back to his tower, and he doesn't make it. Okay, so, alright, pretty standard MOBA fare for mobile. You have some graphic settings, so they're on low for me right now, which is kind of what we would expect. Auto lock modes, free, accurate target lock. Not too sure exactly how these three will play out exactly. Sound with volumes, interface. Where's the quick buy, personal stats, player name, remaining hit points. So this guy has purchased this Thor, who's dead now. This Iceman has purchased, but I can't really see what they are. Maybe boots for speed and a cybernetic arm for attack. Deadpool kind of looks hysterical. They've got a big middle lane push over here. Deadpool. Thor got frozen. And then got beat on right under his tower. So it looks like maybe Iceman has a May, kind of an Overwatch May thing where he freezes people, slows them down. So, game could be a lot of fun if you are a heavy MOBA player. It looks to be like it could be a lot of fun, whether or not there is PvE when the game goes live, and you can avoid playing other people. That might be cool. There is a game out there that NetEase has done that some people, this article has pointed out that there's some not good reviews of it. They say here, Onimyoji Arena is by NetEase, and that there's been some complaints lately, and I did take a look, and it's right. A lot of people are talking about the reporting system being shit, and there being some cheating and bots and stuff in there, so take it with a grain of salt. But, I mean, these screenshots look really good, although that doesn't quite match what I've seen. Well, no, that maybe is when you're loading in the game. The graphics are, of course, a lot better than we saw in BlueStacks. And that, yeah, that was kind of the interface over there, but the interface in-game was a little more cluttered. So, hey, you know, if you're a Heroes of the Storm level person, it might be a little much to jump into, but if you're League of Legends, if you are Dota, if you are maybe old Heroes of New Worth, or the DC Infinite game that really didn't do too well, it barely came out of beta, or maybe you were an old End Time Arena player if it's been shut down or something. I'm thinking we're going to get some of the skins that we've seen in this video. I wouldn't be surprised if right after it goes live we get a Yondu and a Daredevil and a Punisher and an Ultron and a Ronin that we didn't see in the game currently. And this does have a little bit of a different look. It's got a tighter UI down here, a kind of a more Diablo Marvel Heroes-esque UI, and a really crisp upper area, which reminds me of when you're watching professional HOTS matches. But hey, if it gets up to kind of this quality, it'll be good, but hopefully they'll have some other modes than the standard 3-lane shit, because it's just what every other MOBA on the planet does. So, hope you enjoyed the video. I will give a link to the article in the description, and I will also give a link to the instructions on what to do for BlueStacks. But if you're doing Nox or one of the others, you're on your own. Take care, everybody.